Well, thank you very much for having me on this program. COVID has really humbled all of us. This is a global pandemic. Nigeria is not isolated from what is happening, in the world of football all over the world. For the Nigeria Women Football League, the players, as you know, we had not started the season. We were a week away from starting the season when there was this pandemic and football had to be suspended. Some of the players have had to go back to their homes while others are in camp. We've continued to engage with the players and their clubs on the need to observe all protocol and keep healthy. It is only when you are healthy and alive that you can play football when the ban is eventually lifted. We have also been looking at the different scenarios, post-COVID. What are we going to do? How are we going to make this this new normal for us in terms of the health protocols that we have to observe in our different stadia and in the hostel for the girls, even their own personal hygiene, the hand washing, the sanitization, keeping their environments clean, the space where they live. Do they have running water in their hostels? Are the conveniences clean? Are the hostels, are they observing social distancing in terms of bed spacing? Even when you come back to training now, what are you going to do? What are those protocol observations you are going to have to put in place in terms of your dressing room, the ventilation, the hygienic situation of the dressing rooms? These are the conversations we are having. And before the end of this month, specifically on the 21st and 24th, we shall be having our trainer program with our coaches. This is in courtesy of La Liga. Part of the MOU we signed with them was that they were going to be giving our coaches regular training, during when our football season is on break. We've been on break now for a long time, so that training will happen on the 21st and 24th of this month. Is going to be a webinar, and we are very excited that over 40 coaches have registered for this seminar. That is a plus for us, and these are all activities we are putting in place post-COVID.
Okay, interesting. That's part of the discussions we're even going to have, because what's really going on, because we've discovered that some leagues are trying as much as possible to keep their coaches or players busy during this time. And of course, NWFL is not left out in that one. Now, when the NFF president, Amaju Pinnick, actually had a webinar with some journalists on Monday, part of the things he talked about was the fact that he wants every league to resume at the same time when government says it's safe to do so. Will NWFL be resuming along with the MPFL and other leagues that he has mentioned?
Yeah. So the meeting we had with the Minister of Sports, Sunday Dare, was that we analyzed the different scenarios. If COVID lasts longer than envisaged, what are you going to, how are you going to restart the league, the different leagues when the ban is eventually lifted? For us as NWFL, we look at the different scenarios. For the NWPL, that is the Premiership, our top flight of the three leagues that we run now. Remember, we have the Premiership, we have the Nationwide, and we have the Championship, which is the Youth League or the Amateur, as it's called. For the Premiership, that we have run a bridged league since we started this board started. And that is in part because we do not have the funds, we do not have the investment to play a straight league that should give us like 36 weeks to complete our season. But for the abridged league that we run, we divide our 16 teams in the Premiership into two groups, A and B. A and B, you play 8 matches per week for the two groups. No, 18 matches per week. And that in a season, we will have 112 matches. And these matches, season will last for 16 weeks. 16 weeks being 4 plus 4, 8, that's 2 months, plus another 4, that's 16, 3 months, we will finish the league. But if COVID persists longer than we envisage, we can still further divide these 2 groups into another 2. In other words, we'll have 4 groups. These 4 groups will then play a total number of 12 matches per week. We will have 6 weeks of our season, and then we'll play 48 matches in total. And not forgetting that we still have a week to add to this number of weeks to complete our season by playing the Super 4. These were the proposal that we took to the Honorable Minister that was also further discussed at the NFF Executive Committee board meeting. So these proposals are still as they are. In the first proposal that would have given us the 2 groups abridged league, we said if the league was to start or were to start in June. We are in June now, but the league is not going to start. We don't know when it will start. The point that should be made here, and very clearly, is that we are not going to compromise the health status of our players. We are not going to play football at all costs. And in any case, we are not the ones to decide when we will return to the different stadia and pitches to play football. It is left for the federal government of Nigeria and all the health authorities, the WHO, FIFA, and the Ministry of Sports, and of course the leadership of the Nigerian Football Federation. Once we have this clearance, we can begin to reevaluate and reassess whether we can still whether we can still start the season at all, or we forget about this season and start a new season when everything becomes normal. These are the proposals that we have taken to the minister and to the board of the Nigeria Football Federation.
Okay, all right. You just kindly hold your thought here. We will be going on a break and we'll get back to you immediately after this.
Welcome back. Before we go on that break, we're having a conversation with the chairperson of the Nigeria Women Football League. And we're about to continue with that conversation. Ma'am, I know you're still there with us. I just want to quickly ask you this. I know the challenges. We can spend a whole day talking about the challenges, so we know what you're facing in your efforts to bring the league up to a standard. But let's talk about palliatives this morning. The NFF announced some of the things they're going to do with the FIFA Relief Fund. And, of course, some of those funds will come to the Women's League. How much of a help will those funds be? And maybe you can be kind as well to tell us what will be done with those funds.
Okay, so this is my understanding of this fund. The FIFA Forward program is a program that has been put in place by FIFA to help member associations, to help in their operations, to help with competitions, to help with training, to help with media departments of the different FAs, and so on and so forth. This is it started with FIFA Forward 2.0. We are in 2.1 now. 2.0 was, I think, last year, 2019, before COVID. So this is the fund that, as far as I know, has been sent to the Nigeria Football Federation. And part of those to benefit from this FIFA Forward program fund is the Nigeria Women Football League. The Nigeria Women Football League will have a certain amount that has been sent to the NFF with a guideline, strict and specific guidelines on how much each of the leagues should get. The men's league, the women's league, the national team men, the national team women, the youth league for boys, the youth league for girls, training and courses, salaries for members of the FA staff nominal role, and so on and so forth. So it has nothing to do with palliative. It is a FIFA Forward program sent to assist member associations. It's not only Nigeria. What we have been sent is 2019 and 2020. 2019 before COVID, and now we are getting it incidentally and coincidentally during COVID. So what this money is meant to do is to help in the operations of leagues. We, for now, before now, you know that we have been crying in the Nigeria Women Football League that because we do not have sponsorship or sponsors, that because we do not have the investment, that because we do not have the funding, we have had to play 3 seasons abridged. Number one. Number two, we pay the referees, even without the sponsors, because you really have to network to source for money to pay referees. We play, like I said before, we play in the abridged season that we play. We play 16 matches per week for 2 groups. So, and one match costs us 130,000 naira to pay the 4 match officials plus the match commissioner. And we have 112 matches in a season that spans 16 weeks. We have done that consecutively for 3 seasons. We also have to play the cup final, which is our Super League. We have done that 3 seasons without sponsors. We have had to play the Champions Shield, Champions of Champions, 3 seasons without sponsors. Thank you to those excellencies, the state government, who have had to come to our aid once in a while. Like Lagos State, for instance, past Governor Akinwumi Ambode, and then the present governor, His Excellency Babajide Sanwo-Olu. They've helped us to do our cup final 2 seasons. And then the main one, the maiden one in Edo, which we can never forget. That was a template was set for the Nigerian Women's Football League to also have what you call a cup final that is befitting of the Nigeria Women's Football League, the oldest league in Africa. We are 30 years this year as Women's Football League. We started women's football in Africa. We are pioneers. That it will not be nice as pioneers not to have that feeling that you are playing as pioneers in a stadium that is befitting, in an ambience that is befitting, in all the paraphernalia of football that should be present when a cup final is being played. The Edo State government came to our aid. We had a cup final in Benin City for 1 week like we've never seen before in Nigeria. We had the best of women's football. We had a stadium, Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, that was full to capacity. We had His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Right Honorable Phyllis Shuaibu, who was present at every one of those games. We had 2 deputy governors, one from Nasarawa and one from Edo, who witnessed that cup final. We had football stakeholders from around the country who came to witness that cup final. And our players who were on league from their different leagues in Europe, Asisa Atoshuala, Onomebi, Morimadu, were present at the stadium. Even the goalkeeper trainer to India now, Precious Dede. So you see, Women's League is not for charity, which I'm still coming to the question of our players being owed salaries by some state governors who have not paid our guests for up to 7-8 months. They haven't done that to the men's league. I am not aware of a men's league club that is being owed 1 month's salary. Our girls are being owed for up to 7 months, for up to 8 months. Some of them have had to carry placards. Some of them have had to go on the street begging for their salaries to be paid. And I don't think this is fair. I don't think that it is, on a compassionate ground. Morally, it is very, very wrong. So we are engaging with the clubs. We have sent them several reminders. Please pay your players. We can only interface with the club, the club managers, those who have been put in charge of the clubs by the different state governments. We do not know whether our correspondences with them have been, brought to the attention of their excellencies, the governors of the state. So I am also now using this platform, open platform. Channels Television is watched all over the country and all over the world, that we are appealing to the state governors, their excellencies. They have done well enough by putting these girls together. We have 126 players in our league, from the Premiership to the Championship to the nationwide. We have 126 players. This is the livelihood. This is the work they do. Some of them are breadwinners for their family. For young girls to be exposed to, this condition of not being paid for the work they've done, you are opening them up to some vices that we do not want to contemplate. You are opening their mind to the other means of survival. And I don't think this is right. So please, Your Excellencies, for every governor that is listening to me, we have 16 clubs in the Women's League. Edo State must be commended. Edo State has done very well by not only paying the girls' salaries up to date, they have even gone ahead to do equal pay. What the men club is being paid is what they are paying the women. What insurance is earning is what our girls are earning. They have gone to build a befitting accommodation to them, something close to a 4-star hostel accommodation. They have gone to give them a comfortable traveling mode in the mode of well-equipped, air-conditioned coaster bus, 45-seater. This is what we want to see. This is a model we want to see other state governments replicate with our girls. These girls have brought honor to Nigeria. In the last World Cup, we had 8 girls from the domestic league that went to represent Nigeria. They were members of the first team that played in France. We got to the round of 16 or the second round for the first time in 20 years. In France, Chiamaka Nadozie, our goalkeeper, everybody saw that game against France. She remains till today the 5th best goalkeeper in the world. Chidima Okeke, she's gone to Europe. She plays for Real Madrid. We have Uche Nakalu. We have several of them. They've gone to Europe. But we still have the league to service the national teams. They have also become investors. Assistant Oshuala, the best
all right.
Woman player.
Unfortunately, we're
Okay. We want to thank you so much, for actually taking our time to, educate most people who really don't understand how the board is run and what the Women's League has been doing over the years. Thank you so much for that. And hopefully we get to have you again, where you're going to tell us, once the COVID is over, the plans for the league to start. That's going to be our next point of call. And I'm happy that you also clarified that of the salary issues, because that's where my question was going to go next. Pelican Stars, 10 months, not really okay. And you've actually clarified that also. Thank you for that.
Yeah, before we go, it is also important for me to mention that we don't have the money from FIFA yet. We should point that out.
All right.
But we know that we will get it, and we are waiting for us to get it. Both the one from FIFA and the one that the NFF president that promised that they were going to support us with. We know he's a man of his words, and he has also tried very hard to help us to get sponsors. He's one man that women's football is close to his heart, is passionate about it, and we know that once they have all the clearances for this money to be released to us, we will get it.
Thank you so much for waking up so early to talk to us this morning. Thank you.
My pleasure, Cecilia. Thank you for having me.